Hi guys, welcome to part one of the fat loss or just general nutrition series. My name is Randy Yoon, and I just wanted to make these videos because some of my friends or acquaintances always have questions about how do I track, what should I do, and it's just I've been down this road before, and I just want to explain why I think I have some sort of degree allowing to explain about this. So this was me back in 2020. I was around 220 pounds, and this was about a year later. This was the lowest I was ever at, which was 152. Now, on a side note, I didn't know much about nutrition back then. So, in this instance right here where I was, 152, around, 16, 17%, I should have probably lean bulk, but I was so obsessed with the 15% that over the next course of a year and a half, I was, bouncing back, yo dieting back and forth, eating too much, trying to restrict it. And it was just a bad, mental habit. And it caused me to not really make much progress that I would have liked and I should have. So I wanted to help, help people avoid that mistake as well. And I just want to explain the mistakes I made through my weight loss process. And if I was back to this scrawny kind of weight again, I would explain what I would have done different. Okay, so this video, I just want to go over a couple of myths that people generally associate to when it comes to weight loss, or I wanted to really focus more on adipose tissue loss, which is fat loss. So the first mistake people make is this cardio. Now, back when I was 220, I was like, who knew nothing about, I said, okay, so if I just starve myself and do a lot of cardio, maybe I'll just lose weight, right? Because I'm not eating anything and I'll get the main exercise in because my dad always advocated for running instead of lifting weights. I don't know why. It just is what it is. So I said, okay, I'll start doing that. So what I did back then was eat at least 1,200 calories respectfully. But some days I would just have a serving of Greek yogurt, which is 100 calories, and granola, which is 170. So I would only eat 207 calories, and that was not healthy back then. I have a friend named Matt, and he'll be like, "I don't understand how you lost all that weight with just eating like such amount of food. Maybe my discipline was stronger back then, or maybe just I just don't remember. I just pushed through it." But the main idea is cardio shouldn't be the main exercise that you should do because over the course you will still lose adipose tissue because when you're losing weight, the first thing your body will come to mind besides water is okay, I have more adipose tissue than skeletal muscle, so it makes much more sense to lose fat mass instead of muscle. But over time, if you don't give a reason for the muscle to stay and you just don't eat as much and exercise more, you will kind of cause your body to be in a starvation mode, which is okay, what is easier to have on, fat mass or muscle mass? And muscle is going to go obviously because, if you think about back in the day where they didn't have the next meal, they still need their fats out of position in the body to keep them, hormonally healthy and, not be hungry. So they'll lose less muscle mass first. So, the main way to combat this is to primarily focus on resistance training. Now, resistance training has so much more benefits. It helps longevity, builds muscle mass, helps osteoporosis, gives you a better, psychological feeling, helps with mental health, and it's a great activity to include. And the reason is since you're adding resistance to your body, the muscle is going to be like, okay, either I have to do something about myself, grow the muscle to handle more load, or I'm just going to crumble under the same load. And what sounds more realistic? The muscle is going to grow, right? Because if you see how it works, that when you do resistance training, you're actually tearing a little bit of the muscle fibers, and then later on with proper, resting and eating, it recovers and helps build on, and the process keeps repeating, such as that. So resistance training is, weights. You could see like, you know, barbells, kettlebells, a lot of common names will be bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, and etc. etc. Okay, the second myth I want to talk about is diet. Okay, what about diet? Well, a lot of people seem to have this. religious feeling that one diet is the key to everything. So, you have people on keto diet saying keto diet is the only way you have to lose weight. You have people on a high carb, low carb diet saying that's the only way you can lose weight. You have more of the scientific people being like, whatever, just fit your macros in. You have, some cases of vegan people on diets, just maybe because that's their lifestyle or health issues, you don't know, pescatarian, etc. The main idea is you want to keep a consistent diet that you can hold for a long time, even when you're trying to lose weight, maintain weight, or later on in the future when we talk about gaining muscle mass. You want to kind of stick to the same diet. Now, the reason I want to bring up this study, there's this person called Dr. Lane Norton, pretty informational guy, PhD, all that such. Now, he uses a study that I'm going to use, and I'm going to try to find it later on and show you. They have this show called My Biggest Loser, and it kind of shows, how they lose a lot of weight in the beginning because they're restricting a lot of calories and they're doing a lot of intensive exercises. But after the show, the researchers looked at their fat gain or the period after, and they saw they gained their weight back, their fat mass back, even like the same level or more. Now, the reason is on that show, that's not realistically what you can do for a life, like a long time, right? Like imagine if I continued to run so much, including intensive lift resistance training and eating such little calories, I would mentally break down and my body would not handle it. So if I have like eating more or like start binging, I'm going to gain a lot of fat mass back because I cannot maintain that lifestyle. There's a lot of people that do a lot of diets. Me personally too, I have this, it's just like I would lose the weight, but then, like for these past few years, I still haven't adapted my lifestyle. So that's why I kept gaining the weight back. And I've always been wondering, just why do I keep gaining this weight? It's just because I haven't changed my lifestyle in order to maintain this new identity of myself. You have a lot of people like, David Goggins saying you have to kill your old being every day. And that's the kind of same thing with diet. And I'm going to kind of touch on that when I'm just trying to explain, your macronutrients that you're trying to hit. So the main idea for diet is just choose something you can do for a long time and it's sustainable for you and it's something that you enjoy. I cannot stress that enough. Weight strength training, resistance training, and diet is one of the main factors of losing adipose tissue. Okay. Now here's the next fun part. Okay. We have calories, right? People think that calories, aren't equal to each other, and there's some extent to that. But like you see, the definition, calorie is just a unit of measurement. Okay, it's just a number about how your body uses it to burn. So the only difference is, let's say we have an apple in one hand, right, and a serving of sour belts. Both produce glycogen. They're carbohydrates. Let's say they're both 110 calories, right? Let's say I eat this apple. I get healthy sugars in my body. I get carbs. Maybe I don't feel tired when I eat it. I feel great. I feel energized. And let's say I have the serving of sour belts, right? Insulin's going to spike. Glucose has a lot of sugar. A serving might not be enough because that's around like 2.5 sour belts, right? It's like, what the hell? I need more than that to like become full, right? So you might end up eating maybe 3 to 4 servings before you get kind of satisfied by just eating one apple, right? So that's the difference is, okay, so the calories aren't really different. It's just how it affects your body. So I just don't want to like you to have a mindset of, oh, there's always just this is a bad calories. Like you can't eat this. Like, oh, you can't eat rice, it's bad, right? Oh, you can't eat steak, it's bad, right? No, it's just the effects it has on your body. And you personally is just more important than the overall goal. So maybe, if you are tracking calories and you're like, oh, maybe I want a snack or two, if I'm like to the end of the night, I'm not gonna really eat much. Maybe I'll eat sour belts, but if it's throughout the day, it's like, maybe an apple will be more sufficed for me throughout. So the effects on your body is gonna be one of the main factors as well. Now, my favorite myth to go over is spot reduction. Okay. What is spot reduction? So people think that doing a crazy amount of ab exercises or some crazy workout is just magically gonna disappear their belly fat just instantly. And sometimes sometimes I think that's just crazy. At first I believed that when I was, really overweight. I did like some stupid side to side lunges or crap, twisting my body, maybe pulling or rubbing my fat, hoping to lose it, but that's not gonna happen. Calorie deficit is the only way you're gonna lose fat. So mainly when you start to reduce your weight, the first thing that's gonna go is water weight, and then maybe later on you have a little bit of midsection loss. You have your arms, legs, face, and basically the most stubborn parts of your body will go last. And both for males, might be, and women as well, is their midsection. So a controlled calorie deficit is the only way you're going to lose body fat. You cannot lose your stomach fat instantly. That is just the main reason. So if you believe that, I'm just telling you that's not possible unless you do a proper calorie restriction for a long time. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it forever because always being in a deficit like me, it's just not healthy. You're not going to gain muscle. And, I'm the living proof of that. So, yeah. So I just kind of went over some myths, and before I kind of end it off, I just want to express that you kind of have to change your mindset and your lifestyle when you want to lose weight, or you're going to end up kind of, if you live your old lifestyle, you're just going to keep bouncing back and forth with your weight like I have. So I just want to emphasize, I want you guys to do this, strategically and in different ways so you don't stay stuck in like your weight and you just want to cry yourself to sleep and you're wondering why everyone is just better than you, it looks better than you because they're more disciplined than you and such, and you're just like, damn, it just is what it is. So that's just like the main myths that you have to consider, kind of getting your mind rid of when thinking about fat loss. So the next episode I'm going to make is, how to find your maintenance calories, planning out how you're going to lose weight, kind of going over, what I do, which is just like if it fits your macros, and just kind of talking about that and some tips to help with weight loss. So after that, probably going to talk about a little bit of training, and we'll go more into lean bulking. And before, just like a disclaimer, I would like to say, I haven't lean bulked yet, so I'm just gonna give you just more of the scientific research and just like basic guidelines, and then maybe around my midway through my sophomore year in college, if I reach my goals I want to with this fat loss phase, I can finally start lean bulking, and I can finally see if I'm not an idiot. Okay, so that's it for this first video. Stay tuned for the next one.